The Lakers keep losing. We get a fun challenge. Lots of stuff to cover. Lego.
Well, the top shot streets are a dangerous place, so you better tune in to a credible face like this one. Yeah, this one. And you know he's not alone, and they're coming in hot. We got a Lake so Stan and a guy who really likes baseball. I don't know why he likes baseball.
Good morning. Happy Thursday. Thursday means we had football back. We've got some more basketball. I think we only have 4 games tonight, though. And it's like one of those, they're like, yeah, it's on national television, but it's NBA TV. So, like, does it count? Who knows? But we got a fun one this morning. We had 10 freaking games to go over. 10 games last night. There were some fun ones. The nationally televised broadcast on ESPN, both were good, right? So we had both Bucks, Nets, and Lakers, Nuggets. So those are 2 fun ones that we can talk about. So we'll hit up all the games. We'll take a look at the NBA Top Shot Marketplace as we go on and see like if we saw any movement. We had a really spicy challenge too. I think that was a fun one. I think people enjoyed it. I already saw a tweet this morning that was like, Top Shot really came in with these nice accessible ones early on just to hit us with a hammer on this one. It's shut up. But yeah, so we'll go over all that stuff. We'll dabble into the show rares. Let's see who we got here this morning. Rowdy Rod, Jump Shoot, ATC, Getty, J-Bus, Tough Shot, Common Man, Eagle Putts here, Borland in the house. We got JJL, Stubbs, Sandra, Anthony Reagan, Sneeps. Who else? Blaze Moore, Airplane Mode, Federico, Snoopaloop, Daniel Lopes, Garen's here, Mac Attack, Will baby, Josh is here, we the people, all our friends, all of our friends. I'm going to go ahead. Our man, JJL Smith, donated, I believe, was a Mobley fandom a moment to give away. So we'll do hashtag JJ to God. And that will be for, let me share that so you can see it. All you got to do is like the stream, subscribe, and then put hashtag JJ to God in there. Bodivine up in the house. Zach Madigan. Wow, Madigan here. We see CKM, Tricker Frank, Chewy's here. Chewy, welcome, dude. That's the right energy, though. That's the right energy we're looking. But yeah, like the stream, subscribe, put hashtag JJ the God for a shot at winning shine. Let me actually double check what that is. Well, I believe it was a Mobley. I saw it the first thing when I woke up this morning, before I had the coffee. Somebody else. Oh wait, no. Hold on. Let me see what I'm actually. Now I don't even remember. I don't even remember what a gift has been sent. All right, I don't know. Who knows? We'll figure it out as we go. Let's get into some of the hoops though, because we have 10 games. It's gonna take a while before we get through all of them. As always, like the stream, subscribe. You can follow the notes the links in the show notes, right? If you're not in the Discord yet, go ahead and do that. Come hang out on the Discord. If you haven't joined the VIP, you should be doing that. Don't be a coward. And then also sign up for So Rare with the link in the chat if you haven't done that. We're gonna might do like a little So Rare solo show this afternoon. Depends how frisky I'm feeling. All right. Enough chitter-chatter. Let's get into some of the games from last night. So here we go. The first one that we're going to go over, we're just going to go in order of time, not necessarily in order of sexy games, right? So Orlando, Cleveland, and you know what? We're going to Top Shot Common Man called for it. We're going to start this whole damn rundown with our favorite.
Bull.
Bobo.
His first name is Bull and his last name is Bull.
No,
Look
yeah,
at
it was
his legs.
Close.
Long legs.
Oh my God. I bet his legs are taller than my whole body. I'm leaving you for Bull. Like,
It's the gift that keeps on giving. We just love to see it. We love to see it. Orlando drops to 0-4, 103-92 to Cleveland. On the Orlando side, the reason we started with the Bull drop, he's playing like 20 plus minutes a game right now. And I'm just excited that he's getting a chance. You know, he's never going to be a meaningful piece, I don't think, on a good team. But in like the fantasy world, the dude produces in insane usage rate or insane fantasy point per minute rate. And so him getting 22 minutes and firing out, 9 points and 10 boards, we will take it. But also on the Orlando side, dude, Paulo, yeah, there we go. We the people saying Banchero's a stud, man. Banchero's been playing really, really good. And what was nice was last night, even though in an L, both Paulo and Franz played well. And that was like, I brought this up earlier in the week. One of my concerns early on, it wasn't like a real concern because it's so early and they're both like two young players, was just making sure that Paulo and Franz could play together. So Paulo 29, 8 and 4. Again, this rookie is cooking. And then Franz of the Wagner variety had 22, 5 and 5. Mobley with his first like high scoring game. I wrote down he had 20, but I actually thought it was 22. I can't remember. And then Jared Allen, man, with 18 and 16. Big game for Jared Allen. I don't know if there's anything. Actually, you know what we're going to do before we like really do this big breakdown is let's look at the challenge quickly, because what I think is helpful as we look at the marketplace based on players, what's it called? Based on their what is that called? Based on their performance. Thank you. I wanted to like see how the moments move, but it's always important to have what's in the challenge here. So right now the challenge costs $1,016, and these are the fellers that you needed. So you needed a bowl, which here are your bottlenecks. And shout out our man Ransom Reed, who I know has, I don't know, a million Kevin Porter Jr. debuts. So for that to be jumped up to 145, right? You saw that up 62% in the last day. The Bull really cooking up to 336%. So at 144. And then the Tyrese Maxey at 202. And then everything else is pretty reasonable. We got a Jalen Smith in there that made it. Ooh, excuse me. The Evan Mobley. Where did I see Evan Mobley? I swear to God, I saw Evan Mobley's. Oh, there it is. The fifth most points for the rookie badge. That's up to 37. So a lot of good stuff. In there. Wow. Ransom Reed not selling any. Ransom Reed, what are you doing, dude? You got to get off some of those. Man. Just sell like 4 of those and then go buy the MGLE, you know? Anyway, so as we take a look at some of the moments that might have moved from last night's action, just keep this in mind, right? I thought that was a fun challenge, by the way. We'll talk about it a little bit more as we get into it, but let's go over to the market and then let's see let's look at Franz, since that's really the only guy. I guess Mobley we could take a look at, but we just saw that he was in the challenge. So not a lot of movement in the last 24 hours. Nobody really cared that he had 22 points, but that's fine. That's fine. I think that it's going to be tough for the Magic to garner any interest right now outside of the fact that we're like, hey, it's good to have Paolo here. But I don't think anyone's like, you know what? I need to stack some 0-4 Magic, you know? All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. All right, so second game on the jacket. Hawks Pistons. Hawks 118, Pistons 113. Cade got off to like a fire start in that first half, and then shimmered down now a little bit. But what did he have? He had 26 and 8, solid. Bojan of the Bogdanoviches. Oh, that was a Bogdanovich bowl. We didn't even talk about that. I guess Bogdan's still not playing right now with that injury, but man, that could have been huge. The Bogdanovich bowl. But Bojan had 33 in the L. On the Hawks side of things, I feel like this is the first big Trae Young game we've had in this season. That might be incorrect, but 35, 6 and 3 from Trae. DeJounte had a 14, 8 and 8. DeJounte going back to his roots, right? Maybe not scoring 20 plus points, but like close to a triple double every night. And then John Collins had like a 19 and 11. It was good for Hawks to get that win after kind of laying an egg the other night against Charlotte, who Charlotte is like playing everybody tough, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. I guess we can pull up. Let's pull up. That's the notes. Let's pull up. Where am I going? Bojan. Let's pull up Bojan. I'm sure he didn't move at all, but it's still fun to look at. Oh, look at that. This MGLE, here we go, up 40% in the last 24 hours. This means there was probably one buy, but that's good. We still like to see that. How about Cade? How about Cade? Cade, we saw his debuts. Oh, it's up a little bit, 2% in the last 24 hours. Here we go at 220. And then on the Hawks side of things, I don't know. Let's look at the DeJounte debut just because we haven't seen it in a while. And then we'll look at Trey as well. There we go. All right. So now, I mean, you saw his MGLE move a little bit. His debut. Oh my God, his debut's at 45. Oh my God. Oh my God. And then let's look at Ice Trey as well while we're here. And there you go. So and then there were 4 moved up a little bit. Speaking of Hawks, and then there were 4 Knicks and stuff. I guess that's not really a good segue, but the Hawks Knicks event next Wednesday, if you're in New York City, that's going to be a fun one. It's going to be on Wednesday, November 2nd. It's at this place called Local NYC. I'll share the tweet a little bit later. But that's going to be an exciting one. News just broke. Cole Anthony's out indefinitely. Ooh, man, that's tough. Rad Dad, good to see you here. Cole, once Fultz gets back, I still think they're going to be a little bit better off. Not that I'm rooting for injuries because that sucks. All right. I think that's all we need to see from that game. The next one, let's start with another drop, huh? Let's give us another. This is actually going to be a 2 for drop, all right? Because I'm going to say, well, actually, we really only talk about one of these guys, but we're going to hit them back to back.
PJ Washington. PJ Washington. PJ Washington.
And another one.
Regular season Randall.
It's just great to be able to do those back to back. You know what I'm saying? Knicks, Hornets. I saw a lot of Knicks love last night. And hey, listen, congratulations on beating the Charlotte Hornets in overtime. It seemed like people were freaking out a little too much. But anyways, Jalen Brunson absolutely balled. If you have your Brunson bags, if you're a Knicks fan, you gotta love seeing what you're seeing from the old point guard lefty. Brunson at 27, 13, and 7. Again, they won 134-131 in overtime. RJ, another lefty, 22 and 8. Randall, I think, had like 17 and 7. It was like fine. PJ of the Washingtons had 17 and 5. Dennis Smith Jr. getting a little resurgence with LaMelo missing a few games. He had 14 and 11. He was a fun little super draft play if you did that last night, which we'll probably talk about towards the end. And then Gordon, what happened to my hair? Hayward had 21 and 9. I don't know. There wasn't anything. Oh yeah, without our 2 best players. There you go. Suck on that, Knicks. Yeah, I don't know. That between that game and the Cavs Magic game, those were 2 games you could not pay me to watch. And I watched Utah Houston last night. So it's not like I don't want to watch basketball. I was excited to watch basketball. Was not interested in either of those games. Just couldn't do it. But yeah, DSJ is balling. I hope, when LaMelo comes back, I hope he does like carve out a little role. I've always rooted for DSJ. I feel like he kind of got a raw deal. I feel like, I don't know, maybe Carlisle was right to get him out of Dallas, but then he just bounced around, couldn't really find a spot. And now the tanking Hornets will be a good home for him. I don't know. You guys want to we can look at Jalen Brunson, see if he had any movement. My guess is no. But we'll see. I don't know. You Knicks fans are crazy. Let's look at Jalen Brunson. Oh, okay. His MGLE and his TSDD both up a little bit here, as well as an MGLE. So, okay, we had a couple of buys in the last days. There you go. Jalen. Get some. Let's peek in on LaMelo since he's hurt. I don't know. Again, none of this is financial advice, just seeing some like buy low opportunities. 252 for his TSD. Man, remember when those were 900? Wow. Corey Gibbard said last time the Lakers started season 0-4 was when Kobe was playing. Wow. That's great. Corey, let me just tell you, dude, I am stoked to talk about the Lakers Nuggets, but because I did it in order of the time that the game started, it's towards the end, but we can finish strong. Okay. This is a long distance race. So I'm excited to talk about it when we get there. Next up, Sixers lose again. Sixers are like they're turning into the Lakers East for me, where every time they get an L, I'm like, hell yeah. Shout out my man Arsiak if he's in the chat right now. He must be going through it. Or if you're a true Philly fan, you're not paying attention to the Sixers at all, and you're like, let's go Phils. Which I think is game 1 tonight or tomorrow. I can't remember. Toronto won 119-109. Embiid had 31 and 5. Maxey had 31, 6 and 5. Harden Harden slowed down a little bit. Still a good stat line, 18, 9, and 7. But man, Toronto, dude, has just so many freaking long bodies. They just got wings. It's just like, I feel like it's like Game of Thrones where they're just sending dudes at you and then banging their sisters. But their own sisters. Siakam had 20, 13, and 5, which is funny because it's a little underwhelming if you saw his first quarter line, because his first quarter stat line was like 15 and 5 in the first. I love what we're seeing too. Scotty Barnes came back. And he had 16 and 10 first game back from injury. And then Gary Trent, I like to Chuck Jr. with 27, man. Dude, I am just so high on the Raptors. I feel like they're going to be a very good basketball team this season. And they're still like figuring it out. And I don't know. I would love to hear like your opinion in the chat. Like, do you think like when you look at the game last night, is this you're bullish on the Raptors or you're just bearish on the Sixers? Both? Like, do the Raptors look good beating this team, or is it like, man, maybe the Sixers are broke? And Doc Rivers and Russ Westbrook are going to be golfing soon. That would be my other take from what's happening so far, the first 4 games of the season. But man, the Raptors are just a fun team right now. We can go poke around at the old Pascal Siakam. Actually, as I share screen too, I know we get some noobs in the house. If you haven't liked the stream, subscribe and put hashtag JJ the God. Go ahead and do that so you have a shot at winning a little giveaway action. All right, let's go back over here. Who are we just talking about? Let's look at Siakam. Dude, Pascal's playing like, I mean, he's not, I think I said this the other day. Like, he can't win first team all, we can't win first team all NBA, win for like first team all NBA. There's too many really good forwards, but holy shit, man, he's playing really, really well. Look at Patrick McGuire in these streets. I'm pro Raptors, guys. Bullish on the Raptors. Yeah, what's up, Josh? Good morning, man. He says both bullish on the Raptors and bearish on the Sixers. That's probably the right take. But let's look at Pascal. That Top Shot debut at 86. That's fun. But yeah, good to see like people seeing, okay, Pascal's like balling, so maybe we should be scooping some of these moments. So that's fun. Let's look at Scotty Barnes since he has since returned from injury. It was good to see. I was a little nervous he might miss a couple weeks. He ended up missing like a game or two, so that's nice. Top Shot debut right around 100. Something we should probably do in a little bit too is look at just like all of the rookies from last year and where those Top Shot debuts are at. Oh, Top Shot Tesla. Look at all the Raptors fans just coming out of the woodwork, taking another step this year. What do you think of these 2 mini game series so far? Very bullish on Raptors. Get back in transition on your cook. I love these mini 2-game series. I'm a big fan of them. I think it's like, one, it's like better for the players, right? Because it's a little less travel, although some are home and aways. I'm digging it though. I'm digging it. I like that we kind of get a feel for it. Like seeing, again, I watched both Utah-Houston games because I'm a sicko. And it was kind of fun seeing how Utah adjusted in game 2 compared to game 1, even with, and I mean, and like the other example was San Antonio, Minnesota, and San Antonio. Well, whatever, we'll get there. But I'm overall, I am digging it. We do need Dustin. I don't know if you guys saw on Twitter last night, Dustin and G-Dun and Mers were too busy at the Wakanda Forever premiere. So that's fun. Like, I fire up YouTube to talk to you sickos every morning, and Dustin's like, hey, BRB, I'm out here. I'm out here doing the Lord's work for Wakanda Forever. So we're good. We're good here though. All right, let's see what. And also, Top Shot Tesla, thanks for that, man. Thanks for that. So I don't know, anybody else you want to take a look at from that game? I mean, I don't really want to look at the Sixers guy. Actually, let's look at Embiid. Embiid, who's like putting up the empty stats right now. Embiid's giving me like early Devin Booker vibes. Remember Devin Booker would just put up 25 and they'd lose by 15. They just felt like empty stats. Maybe a Zach LaVine special from back in the day. That's the vibes I'm getting from Embiid right now. That's just me. Though. All right, Embiid's Top Shot debut is at 149. Holy fuck balls. What is going on here? What are we doing? But there we go. That's Embiid. All right, next up, what do we got next here? Oh, Bucks Nets. That was a fun one. Shout out Raptor News, who sent me a clip of Kyrie Irving passing the ball to Ben Simmons in the post. Ben, who then does not shoot it, and Kyrie just yells like it's picked up in the audio, shoot the ball, Ben, which I love that. That's real YMCA energy. Ransom Reed, let's save this. Save this when I get through the games. We can come back to this. So fire it in the chat again. But yeah, Bucks 110, Nets 99. Bucks still without Middleton, and they're like, that's fine. We'll just win all of our games. Giannis was 43 and 14. Stupid. Bobby Portis with 20 and 11 off the bench. Ben Simmons, another suck fest. He had 4, 9, and 5, going 2 for 7 from the field. KD, who's got to be beside himself. Like, if anything, you know what's aged the best? KD asking for a trade. Not only asking for a trade, but asking the coaches to get fired and the front office to get fired, right? That is aging very well. He looked at the landscape and was like, good Lord, get me out of here, stat. But KD 33, 6 and 3, and then Kyrie with 27 and 9. Let's just kind of look at Giannis's numbers. I know Giannis has, his like top shot numbers. I know Giannis has like 8,700, 600 minutes, moments on the site. So it's a little bit tough to tell. If anything moves. But here we go. His base set series 2 out of the 15K. That went up 16%. We see his seeing stars up a wee bit, and his hustle and show up a little bit as well. Man, the Bucks are good, dude. That's the takeaway. Bucks are pretty good at basketball. I think they're going to win a ton of games. Also, the sun's shimmering in. I feel like I'm on I'm on the water right now, right? The water. That's the vibe I'm getting. So look at this. This is like under the sea version of Team Hold. You're welcome, dude. You usually have to pay extra. That's usually behind the paywall. Nets. What did the Nets fall to? Like 1 and 3, I think. Is that what they fell to? Nets. It's only going to get worse before it gets better. Like, because if we look at the Nets' upcoming schedule, yeah, they're 1 and 3. 1 and 3. Their next game, they get the Mavericks tonight. So Mavericks tonight is going to be tough. Especially with the Mavs coming off that loss. This is a back-to-back for Brooklyn. It's going to be, give me the Mavs. Give me the Mavs. Let me look at their other upcoming games. So they're 1 and 3 right now. They've got Dallas. Okay, then they got 2 games against the Pacers, then Chicago, Washington, Charlotte, Dallas again. So who knows? Maybe in a week from now, they're like above 500 again, and everybody stops pressing the panic button. But they don't seem like they're a contender right now. And maybe that's overreaction theater, but Seawood going to cook tonight. Yeah, I'm excited to watch Dallas, Brooklyn. I saw a stat by Michael Gallagher, actually, I think he's from Established to Run. And now I'm actually not confident his name is Michael Gallagher, so I apologize ahead of time. I'm going to pull it up right now because I thought this is pretty wild. No, it was Michael Gallagher. All right, here we go. Let's pull this up right now. Where is it? Okay, so this tweet says, worst NBA lineup so far this year, minimum 24 minutes, 36 qualifiers. Look at this. What's nuts about this is, correct me if I'm wrong. So they are the worst. They have the worst net rating of minus 31.7. But out of all of these lineups, right? I'm pretty sure this is the only starting lineup, right? And that's their starting lineup. That's their best 5. Their best 5 have the worst net rating, right? Kevin Durant, Kyrie, Royce O'Neal, Ben Simmons, Nicholas Claxton. Like, holy hell. That's tough. That is tough. So yeah, Brooklyn needs to make, I don't know what they got to do, but it's not great, Bob. Not great, Bob. So that's Bucks Nets. Bucks again moved to 3-0. They're just straight sex for Milwaukee, man. They're going to be real tough. And another game that I didn't really care about, that's Pistons starting lineup as well. That's the Pistons starting. So the Pistons start Boyan, Bay, Beef Stew, Cade, and Ivy. I haven't watched a lot of Pistons games from the beginning. I thought there were rumors that Boyan was coming off the bench, so that's why I thought it was not their starting 5. But sincerest of apologies if that's also their starting 5. Yeah, this next game I didn't really care about. Sorry, John Dubs and all my Chicago people. But Bulls won 124-109. Just kind of hard to get excited about that game. Zach LaVine was the high scorer with 28. Buddy Ham had 24, and then Hallie had 18 and 11. Only guy I really wanted to check in here in the top shot streets was Hallie because I just, man, I feel like this is going to be kind of a lost season for Halliburton, where he's going to put up a ton of numbers just on a Garbaggio team. What website did you use I pulled that from Twitter. No, that was from Michael Gallagher from Established to Run on Twitter. So I'm not really sure if he credited where that came from. I don't have that up still. So I apologize. Sorry about that, man. But anyways, back to what I was doing. All right. So Halliburton over here, he's got a couple of moments that moved up a little bit, right? I'm sure that's because of the challenge. This is up to low ask of 6. Then you got his fresh treads and his Top Shot debut. There you go. Top Shot debut, north of 100. Love to see it. He's playing really well, man, on a bad team. Again, really hard to get excited about what they are doing over in Indiana. I mean, I guess long term you're excited because Hallie looks good, Mathurin looks really good. Mathurin getting into it a little bit with Vucci Mane last night. There was a funny clip. The game was winding down. They were like dribbling out the clock, and he stole it and then went up for a layup and got a foul. And they were just being like, dude, the game's over. And he like pointed at the clock. He's like, it's not over yet. And I love that. I love that angry energy. I need a cough, so we need a drop. Let's get some big ticket. God, love some big ticket. Speaking of big ticket, our NFL All Day show will be back tomorrow at noon with Big Ticket and Jay Light as we break down the weekend slate. So get excited for that. Here we go. I actually think Benedict and Hallie are an exciting duo. If I was a Pacers fan, I'd be hyped for the future. Yeah, for sure. For sure. There you go, JP. What's up, JP in the house? All right, this next game I watched quite a bit of too. So Minnesota 134, Spurs 122. Minnesota bounced back after losing their first one to the Spurs. The Spurs rested Primo and Devin Vassell, so we got a lot of Dougie McBuckets who had like 19, I think. Keldon Johnson had 27 and 4. Josh Richardson with 11 and 10. The other guy from San Antonio, excuse me, I almost said Sacramento, that we got to keep an eye on is it Sohan Sochin? I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name incorrectly, but he's their rookie draft pick, and he looks good. He was putting the clampies on Karl Anthony Towns early. He seems to be like a really good defender who I feel like he's just got a lot of upside, and a lot of people aren't talking about him that much. So I'm really excited about that. DV had been playing really well. Who's DV? Who's DV? Help me with that one, Andre. Sorry. On the Minnesota side of things, Anthony Edwards, who had a terrible game and then got weirdly called out by Cat in the media for eating too much Popeyes, he just spanked them. He had 34 and 9. I think he hit like 5 threes in the first quarter or something like that. Devin Vassell. Sorry. Thank you. Devin Vassell. Yeah. That seemed like the Spurs were like, hey, man, we've won too many games, so we need to lose this one. Cat had 21 and 7. And then, dude, somebody that we've brought him up a couple of times. He's my DraftKings superhero, Jalen Knoll. He had, 23 and 9, 23 and 4, excuse me, and did it in not too many minutes. Like he again, if you're paying attention to either So Rare, we'll take a look at that in a little bit, or just fantasy in general, he's got like the entire usage of the second unit. So when he comes in, it's like the Jalen Knoll show. And I'm excited for what his future looks like. I feel like he's playing his way into like more minutes. And he really helped my DraftKings lineup last night, which was awesome. A DraftKings, I'll wait till we finish the slate, but we had a shot at taking it down last night. If I was hoping the Lakers could kind of keep it close and maybe get a little overtime, but it didn't happen. But yeah, so that was a fun one. I guess let's look at, did I say Karl Anthony Towns? Yeah, I did. Let's take a look at Knoll on over here. And then we can also take a look at Anthony Edwards, excuse me. We got to sneeze. So mental health check. Let's see if we can get it in time. Here we go. I'm sorry this didn't come with a hand job. I just don't think it's included in the airdrops. That's stylistically, that's tough to include that in an airdrop. That was close. All right, Noel's only got one moment on the site, and it's a TSD out of 12K, 80% circulation, so 17% locked, and then it's a low ask of $6. I'm not saying go get him or anything like that, but I'm really enjoying his game so far. We can look at Edwards, and then we'll look at Keldon Big Body Johnson, who again is just going to put up numbers. So this moment's up a little bit, but again, that made it into the challenge. Was curious what his TSD was looking like right now, 275. Okay, and then let's pull up Keldon. I really do like Keldon's game. Where's his TSD's at $9 out of 12K. So there you go. But we're seeing a couple moments move a little bit. His MGLE, both of his MGLEs for Series 2 and Series 3. So that's pretty good. Andre said I was a little late. I was a little late. Did you already do the Knicks game? We did. We congrats the Knicks. We said Jalen Brunson's been great. We said you played the Hornets, though. That's a little alarming, but good dubs. The Zibalabala says, I have everything I need for the James Wiseman challenge except an extra maxi. Currently 152 completed. Is it going to be worth 200 and burning a bowl TSD for 53? This volleyball, I have no idea. It seems like that would be a sexy one. I like that it's for Wiseman. But I have no idea. I have no idea if that's a good move or not. I haven't been paying too close of attention to like how these smaller mint ones have been doing, but I would say if you're a Wiseman fan, although I know you're a Celtics fan, this volleyball, then it's definitely worth it. But I don't know. That's your call. I'd love the chat should weigh in on that. I'm not really sure. All right, let's keep moving. Look, we're at the halfway point of the show, and I think we're 1, 2, 3. We're ahead of schedule, baby. We're ahead of schedule. All right, I was saying I watched a bunch of this game, Utah 109-101. Kevin Porter Jr. took a scary hit and went down, but it looked like it was just kind of a knee. It was Jordan Clarkson's knee to his like quad or whatever. It seems like he's going to be okay. It was a little scary at first the way that he was rolling around and holding his leg. It's like, oh, no, not another knee injury because KPJ's been off to a great start, man. He had 24 and 5 last night. Jalen Green slowed down a little bit with 17 and 7. Laurie Bird marketing 24 and 9. Jordan Clarkson, who again was on my fantasy team last night in DraftKings, and he picked up 2 fouls in the first 4 minutes and hadn't scored a fantasy point until the freaking end of the second half, the first half, and then he went nuclear for 26 and 5, and then you know what? Let's get one more sick ass drop. But yeah, Jordan Clarkson balled, and then THT 14 and 7. THT kind of finding himself a little bit of a role here so far. Dickie Chucky in the house says, Mikey, in your neck of the woods. All right. That's so funny you say that, man, because it's like a heat wave up here. The fact that it was like 72 degrees yesterday, and it's late October. So there you go. Yeah, Clarkson takes out Zion and now KPJ. Ransom Reed said, pull the bull rookie in the locker room packs and flipped it for 70. Let's go, Ransom Reed. That's good. I'm glad you flipped something instead of your 40 KPJs that actually hit a challenge. Yeah, I don't know. Is there anything we need to look at from that? We know that Kevin Porter Jr. is in the challenge. I'm just fascinated with what these teams are going to do. Like Houston's being like, hey, dude, we're going to tank one more time. They should feel good about their core. They should feel good about that core, and then they'll go, and then we'll see what happens. See what happens with the ping pong balls. But Utah, man, Utah's 4-1 now. Utah's 4-1. Top Shot Comment says, "Why are the last 2 seconds of your drops the best?" Because that's comedy, baby, comedy. You got to button those bits. The last 2 games. So we had 2 10 o'clock games. The Heat Blazers fizzled out a little bit because Dame went down. He didn't return. It sounds like he's not going to play in Friday's game either. Oh, I see what you're saying, Ransom Reed. My bad. But yeah, Dame sounds like he's going to be out on Friday at 22 points in 26 minutes. But the Heat win 119, Blazers 98. Jimmy Bucket 17 and 5, Bam 18 and 8. There was really nothing to talk about with this game. It was kind of boring. The Heat should feel good they got this win. But once Dame went down, it really changed the trajectory of the rest of the game because Dame was hot. Dame had like 17, I think, at halftime. And then came out, got hurt like right away. But yeah, I don't think there's anything. Shout out there was somebody in the chat in our Discord, which again, if you haven't joined the Discord, who was it? Our Discord was Clutchinson. Our man Clutchinson in the Discord. He scooped the Dame TSD, and that was one of his grails. So congrats to you, man. It's still fun, even though sometimes Top Shot makes me want to beat my head over the with a bat or something like that. When it is still cool, like there were a lot of moments that people have been eyeing for a long time, and then to have a shot at getting one of those it still gives you that juice, baby. Yeah, Dame hurt my super draft lineup cash for the minute. Yeah, that's tough. That is tough. Let's go to the last game, and then you know what? We will go over to super draft, and we'll go from there. The Nuggets, Lakers. This is a fun one. Nuggets won 110-99. Michael Porter Jr. sat. Russell Westbrook sat. Dude, the Lakers can't shoot, man. It's like, and I gotta think it's in their head. And there's gonna be one game where all of a sudden the rim opens up for them because it's tough. And they were 8 for 30 from 3. 8 for 30. And I mean, and I feel like they came late too. Like they just couldn't buy a bucket. It was really, really ugly. Anthony Davis. So like everybody was making fun of him. He came into the game with like lower back pain. And then there's a clip of him holding on to the rim after a lob, I think. And then like coming up lame. And then Jokic gave him, I think he got an elbow in the back at one point. Listen, as you know, somebody in their 30s that has back problems, I get it, dude. That sucks. So I was nervous he was going to come out of the game. I'm glad he played through the game. But AD had a real he barely touched the ball in the second half. Like I feel like he only took like 4 shot attempts in the second half, and they really went away from him until like the last few minutes. But anyways, he finished with 22 points, 14 boards, 5 assists, and 3 blocks. I don't know. It was weird to me that they went away from him in the way that they did, because it seemed like they really could just use the pick and roll pretty sharp with them, and it just didn't happen. LeBron had 19, 9, and 7. It was funny. Like LeBron took a shot at the end of the first quarter, and then I think it was Richard Jefferson was like, "Oh yeah, that's the first shot of the game." And I'm like, man, what are the Lakers doing? What are the Lakers doing? No rust, and that's your first shot of the game. On the Nuggets side of thing, again, I mentioned no Michael Porter Jr. Jamal Murray showing some glimpses of getting back into playing shape. You can definitely tell there's some rust there. The shot's not following, but he had a couple emphatic dunks. And then it was good. I tweeted this out last night, but man, the 2-man game of Murray and Jokic when it's on is beautiful. There was this take where Jamal takes it into the hoop and then puts his back to the basket, kind of drops it to Jokic, who then puts in a floater. And Jokic, man, listen, some people are like he's overrated, whatever. 31, 13, and 9 with 4 steals. Like, the dude is so good. He's so freaking good. He makes everyone else better around him. Like, what did I say he ended with? 9 assists? 9 assists, but he should have had like 14. Aaron Gordon had stone hands a couple of times on like easy put-ins. He's just so freaking good, man. He just sees angles way better than everybody else. He's just fun. He's a fun watch. So Nuggets improved to 3-2, and the Lakers dropped to 0-4. Let's poke around at the standings. Again, I know we do this like every day, but it's still kind of fun. So here we go. The Bucks on top. The Bucks, the last undefeated team. They've only played 3 games. They're 3-0. And then you got a slew of 3-1 teams in the Cavs, the Knicks, the Celtics, the Wizards, the Hawks. It's so funny, like rattling off those 3-1 teams, because I don't think that's the order that we would have the East in. And then you got the Raps and the Bulls at 3-2. Hornets dropped to 2-2. Then the Heat at 2-3. Nets at 1-3. And then at 1-4, we have the Sixers, the Pacers, the Pistons, and the Magic at 0-5. And clearly, one of these things is not like the other. 76ers 1-4. On the West side of things, just like everybody predicted, the Blazers and the Jazz tied for first at the 4-1 record. Then you get the Suns, the Pels, and the Grizz at 3-1. Wolves, Spurs, and Nuggets at 3-2. Warriors and Clippers at 2-2. Mavs at 1-2. Thunder 1-3. Rockets 1-4. And then so the Kings, Lakers, and Magic all continue to be winless, and it's just hilarious. Let's also look at the schedule for tonight's game. I know I said we got 4, one of them being Mavs Nets. So we got Mavs Nets, we got Clippers Thunder, Miami Golden State, which should be a fun one. Miami on a back-to-back though, so that's not great, Bob. And then Memphis Sacramento, I imagine we see some Katy Perry's fireworks. That's going to be a spicy meatball. All right, let me remind the people here, we are doing a fun little giveaway. So if you haven't entered yet, you saw the Lion just got here and did it. You got to like the stream, subscribe, put hashtag JJ the God for an Evan Mobley fandom moment that was sent to the team hold account that I'll be excited to give that to the winner. So do that when you get a chance. I'm also going to drop a link in the show notes. I mean, there's a link in the show notes, but I'm also going to pop it into the chat right now because we'll talk about So Rare momentarily. But if you haven't signed up for So Rare yet, go ahead and do that. It helps us out. It's free. You get 20 free cards to start building your lineups like almost immediately. And then if you buy using that link, if you buy 5 cards on the marketplace, you get a 6th one free, which is fun. All right. Zavalabala says the metallic silver moments in the mint range are going for 1,000 plus. Also, it might be the bottleneck if the James Wiseman cost me 250. Here's the thing I would say. I think predicting bottlenecks 4 games into the NBA season when you know they're doing 3 challenges a week is a little dicey because you never know when something weird's going to happen. So I totally get trying to project the bottlenecks, but we've done this before, and I would just be, I mean, people did it with the tour moments, and then they announced what they're doing with the tour. there's no way the Vegas ones are going to be the bottlenecks, right? So I would just keep that in mind. But basing it on the other ones that we've seen, I think that's fine. I think that's fine. I'm not chasing bottlenecks. I'm more of a snow patrol chasing cars kind of guy. All right, what else we got? What did I want to do? I wanted to go over to SuperDraft. Shout out the judge who put together that SuperDraft contest that we talked about on the show yesterday, I think, and we had a private contest in the Discord as well. So we're going to look at the history of this one. Let me pull it up here. I had one lineup cash. I think I threw 4 lineups in there. So let's take a look at the first place. Went to DeCloak. Now, first place won a freaking LeBron James TSD. See, he had Dennis Smith Jr. in there with 73 points, again, because that 1.8 multiplier. Cade Cunningham had a big game. There's Brunson. Brunson was the sneaky one. 3% ownership. He also had Cade at 6% ownership. LeBron, KD, Giannis, and the Joker. My best lineup right here finished 66th. And I had Hallie, KPJ, Dennis Smith Jr., Siakam, Levine, Markkanen, and Jokic. The biggest mistake I made, I had a lot of lineups that had solid shots in there. But the mistake I made was getting too sneaky and frisky on the center position. I played a lot of Nicholas Claxton because his multiplier was so high. And the move was to just take the points with Jokic, dude. Jokic with no multiplier put up 71 points. Same thing with Giannis. No multiplier, 75 points. Sometimes you just take the good basketball player. I also want to pull up our man. Where's our guy? Our guy, the judge, put together a fun little team hold only contest for a shot at a couple of packs, a couple of playoff packs. And I haven't even looked at who did what yet for this. So I'm trying to pull it up right now. Okay, here we go. Now I got it. So when we look at this, I finished 23rd. Not great, Bob. 23rd out of 31. But here we go. Our winner chicken dinner, but Da Vinci point had DSJ, Cade, DeJounte with 51. Giannis, AD, look at AD with a 69. Nice. Johnny Collins, and then the Joker. Jeb in second with DeJounte, KPJ, Jay Clarks, Markkanen, Siakam, Giannis, Jokic. And I believe those are our two winners. 2 winners for those sweet, sweet playoff packs, courtesy of the judge and SuperDraft. Actually, one other thing, I think they got close to 600 entries in that other contest. I want to see how many. 609. All right, so they didn't fill it, but hopefully SuperDraft enjoyed that and are able to continue to get people to do more contests like that, because Moment Rank sucks right now. And I feel like I danced around this for a couple of days, but they cut the prize pool in half, which I'm not going to blame Moment Ranks for that. They got rid of the head-to-heads, and then they're just like, you know what? Maybe we don't update the site. And the live scoring seems broken as fuck. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. So it's good to see like SuperDraft and stuff like that pop up. And the only thing I'm annoyed about is that like Top Shot has kind of been like, oh, this is pretty cool. This like use moment ranks. That's utility. You like the gamification, use moment ranks, bros. Well, moment ranks has clearly made a signal to us that they don't super care about it. And I think it's not only are they not adjusting stuff, because listen, maybe they came out and said like, hey, we're a little undermanned right now or understaffed right now, and we're doing our best to make some adjustments. I've heard dick from them. And so I don't know, it bums me out. And listen, these types of games like Moment Ranks and like Rumble, what they're both doing, both of the like those are funded through Dapper, right? Those prize pools come from Dapper. So Dapper is the one that was probably like, hey, listen, I know we gave you 100K this year, you're getting 50K, whatever the number was. So like the prize pool thing is on them, but it is kind of interesting for them to like, let's cut it in half. Let's get rid of the head-to-heads. We haven't evolved this thing at all. And there was so much hype around it. Like when the market was down for so long, one of the fun things that everybody did was like, we had moment ranks, play moment ranks competitions. And so it's tough. That's tough. And so I almost wish they'd just get rid of it, because I think they're keeping people's hopes up there. Anthony Reagan said, I had fun sweating SuperDraft. Yeah, the SuperDraft sweats are a lot of fun. The sweats are a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. It's kind of like the in-between of DraftKings and Moment Ranks for me, where you have to put a little scratch in there. The one thing I will say, I like that they did the free one. The $15 one, I bet if that was $10 or $5 and they could have gotten over like 1,000 entrants. I understand that's probably not the judge's call. That's probably coming from SuperDraft. They're like, this is what the number needs to be. But yeah, 15 is tough. 15 is tough. But I don't know. I hope Moment Ranks or the collective where we unfuck the NFT communities. I hope they're able to address it or either just like put it out of its misery at this point. But I don't know. That's me. I know that's a little bit harsh, but it's just there's just so much hype around it, and then they just kind of like no one's saying anything. No one's saying anything on any side of stuff. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. But let's the other thing, let's go speaking of utility in the fantasy gaming world and sports and Web3 and NFTs, let's take a look at Sorare. I'm going to drop a link to Sorare one more time to pump my bags. Again, sign up for Sorare. I'm going to show you my lineup that I'm currently sweating, and by sweating I mean it's dead. It's a bad lineup. I have learned from my mistakes. I'm actually going to pin that so you guys can see it. But let's go over to the Sorare. I'll show you again what I am sweating here. So here are my 3 lineups right now that are all dog shit. So I got Dame, who was cooking at 51. Brunson was a nice call. This is in the common contender, which this is with the cap, right? Robin Lopez, Miles McBride, none of them play. Torrey Craig, whatever. That's my lineup. My cards are bad. Over here, Jokic with the 71. LeBron sucks. Sadiq Bey was fine. Santi Aldama still has one more game left. And then Şengün ended up being sick, so he couldn't play for 2 games. That was a bummer. And then this is the limited contender. This is the one where I actually scooped some of these moments. I thought I was getting a deal on Ben Simmons because Ben Simmons, even though he sucks, is usually a good fantasy point guy because he gets a lot of steals, blocks. Like, he's not going to give you 25 actual points, but a lot of the times he can get you 10, 12, 10, and 4, something like that, right? So that is kind of tough over here. Keldon Johnson with 37. I still like Keldon Johnson. Josh Primo didn't play. Garuba was bad, and Javon Carter. So clearly, we're going to be going shopping. I'm also training a couple of guys, right, to get these numbers up. So here are some of the other moments that I'm using to build some XP. So Josh Giddey, I kept out because he's been hurt. Levine, I didn't play because he didn't fit my what's it called? My salary cap, which I should have played Levine clearly. And then I got Damian Jones, but these are the ones I scooped. Luke Cornett. That's hilarious. Rui Hachimura. Rui, I love that his number right here, it keeps going down because it's based on your 10-game average. And he's been pretty bad lately. So he's going to be a nice play later. Jalen Williams was a buy for later. And then Monty Morris, who has been kind of solid. But I'm going to go over to the new card auctions and show you what's cooking. Let me know if you've been messing around with this too, if you've been buying. I'm going to do like a So Rare thread again today about some buys that I'm looking at, but the rares and super rares, like as much as I would like to be able to scoop some of these are a little rich for my blood at this point. So I'm kind of focusing on just the limiteds right now. But if you have bags, then you're ready to buy. Those are really spicy tournaments moving into week 3. And the way that this happens, week 3 starts tomorrow, right? So it goes Monday to Thursday and then Friday to Sunday. So there's two like sets of contests a week. So I'm getting ready. Ransom Reed said I'd rather have shitty moment ranks play than no moment ranks, but yeah, it's Garbaggio right now. It is Garbaggio. So we're going to start looking here. Darius Garland just went for $26. That's kind of interesting. But again, because these are capped based on their 10-game average, it's tough, right? Because like a Desmond Bane at 29, it's a little pricey. So I don't know. I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing as I start to scoop some more moments. Josh Primo, I kind of like that his number is going to be going down a little bit. There you go. Nick Claxton. See, Nick Claxton is like way too high here. He's going to be like really tough to fit into lineups. Kind of missed the boat on Trey Murphy. We're looking for like the next guy to pop, right? The next guy to pop. But I really have been having a great time with this, and I'm looking forward to continuing to figure it out. We can look at what the next couple of tournaments are looking like, right? So the common contender and common champions, those are free. So when you sign up, you can just enter these, which is spicy. You just enter them. And then look at this, 100%. So you're guaranteed just by doing this to get a card back for playing. So you're guaranteed, even if you come in last, you're going to get a card back. And based on how you do is the type of tier card that you're going to get back in return. The common champion is a little spicy because if you finish in the top 1,000, you're going to get a limited tier card. But anything above that, you're just going to get a common card. So just by entering, you sign up, you get 20 cards just by entering these two. And by the time the tournament is over, you get 2 more. And then the limited contender, this is the one that I entered where you need all of those limited contender cards. And then they're paying the top 11.15 that you can see they already have 3,600 entrants. Limited champion is coming soon. And then the rare contender, which this is what people were talking about that was kind of spicy. In order to enter, you only need 3 rare cards. Then you can use 2 other cards. So there you go. Yeah, we the people asking how much is Noel. Let's actually look at how much Noel is right now. Also, I should say too, there's 2 different ways you can do. You can do the card auctions, which means they're coming from Sorare, right? So they slowly, almost lost my footing there. They slowly release the player, but you can also buy it from managers. So I highly recommend checking what the manager sales are going before you scoop. Okay, this is only going for $11, but this is in an hour or so. So I imagine this gets up over 20. This number of 20 is a little bit high for me. I was hoping that would be like in the 17 to 18 range, but if you believe in his usage and his role, it's going to keep going up. Now's the time to do it. And I don't know how many radars Noel's on for people. But let's go over. So we're at new card auctions, but if we go over to manager sales, we can then see like, this is what, these are like manager sales. So this is like buying from someone. So let's look over Noel over here and see what he's going for. And that'll give you an idea of what his auction will go to. This is at like 35, $39. So it'll be 28. Actually, let's sort by lowest price to get us a better feel. Yeah, 28. So I'll have to pay attention when that one ends and then go from there. Scoop Dougie McBuckets. Well, the Spurs are so interesting. And what makes them dangerous, right, is when, because I played them, they're going to be benching a lot of guys, right? We saw Devin Vassell rest. We saw Josh Primo rest. So then all of a sudden, somebody like Dougie McBuckets goes up. And you kind of have to make that call before you have that information, you know? Weisberg says, think of it as buy now on eBay versus an auction. There you go, Weisberg. Thank you. I still got 1 game from Fox and 1 game from Steve and Adams, hoping they go off. There you go. Good luck. I got to tell you, listen, my favorite part about being able to talk about So Rare is that it's free. Like, I'm not telling you to go spend money. If you do spend money, hell yeah, it helps us out. But if you don't, you can just play for free and have fun with it. And that feels a little bit easier than me telling you to go buy shit. You know what I mean? All right, let's remind the peeps. If you haven't done it yet, like the stream, subscribe, put hashtag JJ the God for an Evan Mobley fandom moment. Shout out JJL Smith, by the way, who's just like one of the best community members of all time. Just like a good freaking dude. Only bad thing he did was give away a Domantas Sabonis holo for the live show, which sounds like it's a good thing that he did, except PPE won it, and that makes it a bad thing. But we've got 70 entrants in that. We'll close that in a few minutes. The other thing I wanted to look at was the Eliminator Challenge, but I'm actually having a tough time finding who the winner is. So we had 93 entrants in the team hold group. We had 93 entrants in the team hold group. Let me see. Can I see it in group picks? There we go. There's big and there we go. He was the last one standing. So that's our winner. He's going to win a legendary moment that will be coming down the pipe soon. So he came in first. And then here we go. This is our top 3 getters right here. We'll have Buzz City Ballers will win a rare moment, and Luis with the rare moment. So we got a Lego, a rare. I had a bunch of people go out this week, and I was going to try to do a couple more rares, but what I think I'll do is have some spicier common moments. So shout out to everybody who participated in that. We had, We the People. There you are. We see We the People, Reed Rages, Sizzle Pop, Big Ticket. So it'll take me a little bit to compile all of those to give away, but shout out Big Native. There we go. That took a while. I had to sound it out. But big dubs for him. So congrats on the W. I apologize for not following that more closely, but I got knocked out week 1. So I figured somebody would tell me when we got the W, Naked XYZ says, what's the 5% and 15% thing on the limited and rare cards on So Rare? So let me go back over to that. The 5%, I had that explained to me before, where you get like a 5% boost. I think if you bought it off of the as an auction, I think that's how that works. I'm looking at the how to play here. Let me see if I can find it quickly. I don't want to be the getting started types of cards, elements of cards. Maybe it's the elements of cards. Sorry, I know I'm doing this like in real time. If somebody in the chat knows too, fire that in there. Points cap. It's not the points cap. 10-game average. I understand. All right. I'm not seeing it as fast as I would like to see it here. So, but if somebody does know it in the chat, fire that in there. I'm not seeing it yet, but it was something. Okay, limited. There we go. Limited. No current season cards get the 5% boost. Okay, so my first comment is up to a 5.5% boost. Going to be interested to see how this goes. So I guess your boost. It's a limited is a 5% boost. Rare is a 15% boost, and that is to your scoring. But I believe, yeah. And then, okay, that was it. So when we get into season 2 or year 2 of this, those year 1 cards you'll still be able to use, but you lose the boost. Thank you. It took me a little while. To get there, but we did. As we wrap up today, a couple of things just to remind the people. So we might do a So Rare solo show this afternoon. I also might just do it as like a short form video that I put out and then a tweet thread. So we'll see how I feel. Friday, we'll have the morning show. We'll be back here tomorrow talking about the 4-game NBA slate and then the weekend of stuff. At noon, we'll have our NFL All Day show with Jay Light and Big Ticket. And then Friday at I think it's going to be 3:30 or 4. It might actually start at 4. I might push it back. The happy hour might start an hour later, so pay attention to that. But what we're going to do is do some F1 with our man James. He's going to come back on. And then we are going to do a full So Rare live to lock because that'll be when the new tournament starts. So I'm going to kind of go over, we'll be using Momentum Lab, John Boy Beats' skeet sheets to figure out who we think are plays to target for the weekend, looking at some value guys, maybe scooping a couple of last minute things, or maybe even selling some last minute things. So we're going to start doing this live before Lock So Rare show on Mondays and then on Fridays. And then the other show on Sunday to remind people about, because we had last week off because I was traveling, at 11 a.m. right here on Team Hold. Me and John are going to be getting us ready for the NFL All Day pregame show, where we're going to go over some Rumble lineups. We're going to go over some DraftKings lineups, and we're going to see how can we lose money again. D-Rose in the house with another Bulls win. Says, wow, Friday tomorrow. LFG. And Jump Shoot said, but if you have XP build up, then the card goes from 15%, 10% from XP, 5% to a 10% boost for next season. And that's why you should be using the XP, the training and stuff for the cards you're not using. So listen, I'm really digging So Rare. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like learning as I go, and it's getting me kind of exciting. Do you have any better takes than JBB's? I was for the thing before I was against it. Oh my God. Yeah. John Boy last night. Yeah. Check out Shot Tank on Top Shot Talks channel last night, which was pretty hilarious. Just seeing John try to figure out what his takes were. It was comical. How badly do you wish Javonte Green was still in the C's? Yeah. Javante's been playing well. I don't miss him though. I think D Rose, that tells me exactly where the Bulls are at, where you're like, thank God we got Javonte. And if we had Javonte, he'd be playing like 6 minutes a game. You know what I mean? Yeah, the warm packs. All right, let's give this away. Again, shout out JJL. If you haven't signed up for So Rare, the link is pinned in the chat. Do that for 20 free cards. You buy your 5 cards. You get a 6th free if you want. Join the Discord if you haven't done that. Sign up for the VIP. Also good shit. Good shit all around. I can't say thank you enough for being here this morning. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Appreciate JJL. Let's spin the damn wheel. Here we go for the Evan Mobley fandom moment. It is going to Jason T. Jason T, shoot me a DM either on the Twitter or over on Discord, and I can hook you up with that. Yeah, good stuff, everybody. I hope you guys have a great Thursday. One step closer to Friday. Shout out the Lakers for continuing to lose. We out.
Well, the top shot streets are a dangerous place, so you